At the very center of the large tetrahedron structure is an object called the water sphere. This is a common symbol used to represent the water sphere. In this formation from 1991, the water sphere is shown twice. Notice the different sizes. This indicates we are looking at different parts of the water sphere. And clearly, when we merge the two designs, we arrive back at the common symbol. A solid circle with two surrounding rings. It is related to all systems, including energy production. Let's start with the core and work our way out. This is a side view of the inner water sphere. Two pyramid shapes create this octahedron. A pyramid looks like a square from above. In the crop circles, this is exactly how the pyramid is depicted. A square shape encompassed in a large circle. Remember, this shape exists at the very center of the water sphere. This means that it is at the exact center of the tetrahedron structure. This is a very significant place, as tetrahedral form focuses onto this point. That is to say, a certain energy pattern, which is linked to the values 3, 6, and 9, are focused onto the octahedron, as a result of the tetrahedron structure. This explains why there are so many of the pyramid or water sphere formations which contain information linked to the numbers 3, 6, and 9. For example, in this formation representing the pyramid or octahedron, there are a total of 9 squares. Again, here is the water sphere encompassed in an interesting related geometrical design. 3, 6, and 9 are everywhere. John Keeley, a mysterious scientist, was far ahead of his time. However, he described that molecular disintegration of water and other things could easily be accomplished by subjecting the substance to vibratory thirds, sixths, or ninths. This matches perfectly with the model of the crop circle ship. Water enters into the octahedron, and molecules separate into hydrogen and oxygen. This process occurs where the energy pattern from the tetrahedron structure is focused. In this formation, the pyramid is symbolized. Water, oxygen, and hydrogen are also represented in their individual forms to show the separation. Eightfold formations like this can also be used. One square for each half of the pyramid, creating 8 corners. It is impossible to miss the octahedron connection here. This formation provides a link between different designs. Look closely. We can compare the matching areas. Here, even the matching thickness of these layers is very visible. It is helpful if we apply some names to the different visible layers. Keep in mind that this view of the water sphere is from the side. Layer 1 is the core, the place of the octahedron. Other layers are also visible in this design. Notice hydrogen is represented in layer 3, the two dots in the bottom right. There is a gap where the bases of the pyramids meet. In this formation, we can make a connection with three large rings, which surround the octahedron. And again, layer 3 is visible in this formation. That's good news for us. It gives us an additional link between these two designs. It is important to realize that this is a side view. And this view is from the top looking down. Here, layer 1 of the water sphere has been shrunk to the very small area in the center. It is not the focus of the formation. Remember that formation 1 is a top view, while formation 2 is from the side. This formation 1 fits into the side view, where the red line has been drawn. There are three primary rings of magnetics which surround the octahedron in the water sphere. These will now be examined in more detail. The magnetic rings. Appearing on the very same day, this technologically related formation also shows the three magnetic rings. This formation represents magnetic force. For example, notice how the object is shown. It is being pushed away by the magnetic rings. This type of symbolism can help us in other areas later. Let's refresh on some perspective for a moment. These are the rings that rotate around the octahedron. The connection between the rings and octahedron has already been made in other formations. It's just the way the crop circles work. One thing leads to another, until a complete model can be built up. Here, it is implied that the magnetic rings are rotating around the octahedron. It is also shown on multiple occasions that these rings are threefold. There is a good reason for this threefold design, however it won't be covered at this time. Earlier formations from the same year can be identified as having some kind of relationship to the magnetic rings. On Sunday the 15th of July 2001, the following formation was found. Notice that this is a side view. See how obvious the relation is. Here, we can draw in the magnetic rings. This is very interesting. Exactly a week later, another bird's eye view formation was found. It looks very similar. We will now see how these two formations, created exactly a week from each other, are related. If we zoom in here, we find the clue. Notice how there is a circle, and on half of it, the border is thick with flat crop, while the rest is still standing. Half. This bird's eye view design shows the bottom half of the water sphere. Looking down at the bottom half. Let's make some more connections. Here, we can see there are two large spaces of flat crop. These are areas of hydrogen, which we will see later. In this one, there is only one such space of flat crop. We just learned that the other formation deals with the bottom half of the water sphere.